Hey guys, it's here. Welcome to this special interview. I'm here with Rajat Jain. He is from Bangalore and he's a book author coach. And in the last 6 months, he's been able to achieve 3.6 lakhs, helping people become authors. But the interesting thing here is Rajat is still in a job. He isn't in a corporate job. He's dedicating 30 minutes to an hour a day and he's able to achieve these kind of results because this is his passion area and he's able to really help people in that space. So first of all, Rajat, congratulations for doing this in spite of being in a job. That's amazing. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Sid. It's been honored to come into your Hall of Fame. I have been following you from quite some time, and I've been following some of the Hall of Fame students also in the past. It was always my dream to be here, and you have made it fulfilled. So thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
Welcome, welcome. And you put in the effort. I mean, great to see that you've been juggling both, the job and this, and then you identify that this is your area. So just tell us about that journey. I remember you were one of the first people who bought my course in 2018 itself, and it took you a good, 6 to 8 months to discover your area. So just walk us through that journey. Like how were you able to test and refine to what you're doing now?
So just to give a background here, Sid, I actually enrolled into your course as December 2018 because I was feeling some sort of a low sides in my job. Many times I do feel this as a strategy that whenever you are going little low on a job, then focus your attention to some learning so that by the time the mud gets settled, you are also not giving lot of attention to what all activities going on. And by the time mud settled, then you just come back. But in your case, that was my intention, frankly, and I've been very open here. I just thought, let me do digital marketing. This Siddharth has been talking a lot good about it. So I just immediately enrolled, and I was 7, 8 months just watching videos. And you understand, right? I mean, I'm a 20-year corporate guy. I'm an absolute corporate mindset employee, mindset guy. So it took me some time, 7, 8 months, just to understand that what he's been saying, what you've been saying, is it really true? I was reading between the lines and I was going into that mindset sort of a thing. But then later I did go into my quantum leap journey, the trainer, all that activities and meeting some of the folks as well. Then I said, yeah, whatever he's saying is right. So 7, 8 months it took me just to build my mindset. And the mud got settled in the job. Everything was all going good, but I just couldn't leave this. I felt that, yeah, this has a bigger purpose and I can really help people here. So I think that's where the journey started and it is going on and I know it is going to go a long way.
Awesome. Okay. So you started this to distract yourself, but then it ended up becoming you were able to find yourself.
Correct.
And when you were watching those videos, for those 7, 8 months, I mean, you were not taking any action, right? You were just absorbing the knowledge, did not build anything for yourself. When did you start to put it into action?
So I have been actually going to Success Gyan seminars and all since 2014. Like I have seen Herb Ecker, I have seen Robert Kiyosaki, I have got trainings of Jerry Roberts also, the author coaching I took directly from him. It was always that these trainings and seminars, I was taking it for my positive vibes and positive energy to get it and maybe use it in job. That was always the intent. And initially I started with the digital marketing as well. I was going through the course. You are actually helping us to build a competency which I had no clue about. And then once I started getting into the freedom meetups, which you really introduced somewhere in March, April last year, I met some of the very like-minded people. And that's where and then the trainer also happened. In fact, I remember first time I met you there, you were actually crewing there. And when I was doing the demo, you were so nice to listen to me as well there. So it really means a lot to me. I think after that the trainer somewhere in May, June, it just bumped like crazy. And I called my friends who were in freedom meetups. We started Fortune Changers. We started a lot of other things. And we started continue moving into that direction of action. And I created mindfulness courses initially. A lot of things of mindfulness and I was giving the videos and all. But somewhere in 2 to 3 months time frame, I realized that mindfulness is more of a silence and experience, which I know. So it may not work out. And there were a lot of people who were actually telling me that, hey, mindfulness is okay, but you're every time saying you're an author and you're always saying everyone has a story to share. Can you really help me get my story come out? And somewhere in November last year, I created a course of Author Blueprint, started giving free of cost, and it's working magical since last 6 months with the job. Yes.
Got it. So it's like through this journey you started with mindfulness, and then you tested the waters and it was not working out, and then you based on the feedback you got from your market, you became an author coach because you've written a book yourself and you're uh, interesting.
Correct.
And
And in
how
fact,
are you able to find the micro positioning? Because there could be many author coaches, and I think you remember you were telling me that you are bringing in the angle of writing therapy or something like that. Tell us about that.
yeah, absolutely. So I think after putting this author blueprint, author courses, after talking to them, and as you always used to say that always do 101s first, don't do complete masterminding. So I took your advice and I started talking to them. Later I realized that I can actually put my mindfulness angle also, because writing itself is a therapy. When you're right, because many times we go to the high profile trainings also where we are writing for hours and hours. In fact, some
Yeah.
of the therapy centers been asking us to write, because the 80,000 thoughts which are currently running in your mind, you just pour it in the paper and you can burn it, can crumb it, and you feel so good. So I started giving that sort of a coaching as well to the students who I was going through with the book. So my mindfulness angle came out so well in my authoring and my 20 years of project management experience. So I'm a project manager. I'm a dog chaser. I'm an executioner. So I know when to use the stick and when to use the empathy. So both the angles came out so well and gelled that I'm happy to share that there are 20 published authors today. Everybody who has taken 100% guaranteed they have become an author, because I've
Nice.
been giving a lot of result focused sort of approach here.
See, that's very important because a lot of people, when they get into this journey, they pick a niche or they pick a topic based on how attractive it may be. But then what I liked about you is, yeah, even though you started with mindfulness, you are able to bring in the elements which are congruent to you, which is the project management experience, the mindfulness experience, as well as the writing experience. And then you made that into a formula of your own. And that's what actually is giving you results. Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. In fact, that's what I've been telling to some of the people, because when I do the plan a book section to them, they are confused. I don't know, is it this target audience or is it this target audience? I say that, hey, don't aim and plan so much. Act. If it really works, doesn't work out, you will see the market reaction. Then you can change always, maybe next 2 months.
Yeah.
But whatever you feel the best, and later you can always complement that. So it's not that,
Exactly.
you cannot complement it. It will be absolutely converge at one point. And
True.
that's what I give the teaching, what you have
Yeah.
shared with us.
In
Siddharth.
fact, even now when I do hackathons with the group, I make them do an exercise called the scrapbook exercise, where previously it was not there. Previously, people would just pick a niche, but now, like exactly what you did is getting the market feedback, like understanding what do they want, and then pulling out all those buzzwords, and then going deeper and deeper, and having like a scrapbook of at least 1,000 ideas before you go and develop your product. I mean, then it becomes something very valuable for the market. Otherwise, we are only thinking from our own head. And yes. So tell us about some of the things that you did. Like how did you do to refine your own positioning? One is you mentioned one-to-ones. Is there any other kind of things that you did to really refine your product and your offerings?
Yeah, so I'm a kind of a person said who do not ready, plan, and then aim and then fire. I actually fire and then aim. I jump and then I think. So I always used to put my video, my mobile camera, and started giving as a recording and Facebook lives and all. So I think that's where I put my positioning. Initially, I was giving too much of that, the videos, and people start knowing me, that who I am, what am I doing, and all. So that is something which I was very much focused at the very beginning. Again, the
Yes.
idea was to get the feedback from people. What do they think about it? Are they really finding it good? Are they really coming back with some questions? Some people said that, hey, you should see the camera. And they said, okay, good feedback. Let me see the camera. So, so I think these all feedbacks were very important for me, but just by just taking the action. So I think video I did the webinars, and I'm doing the webinars. I also did some seminars, like offline seminars. So a lot of my
Yes.
friends are in library. I'm a Toastmaster. I'm into some of the spiritual group like Soul Trends. So I used to go there and give my author 2 hour session just as a
Okay.
good learning to them. And if you really find it good, if you resonate too, and if I resonate too as well, what you've been mentioning and saying,
Yeah.
then we used to work together, because as you're aware, I have a limited capacity. It's like a constraint, which is like I can only take 10 students in a week,
Okay.
because every day I do a session with them,
Mm.
with one student. Every week the turn comes. So I think that's where, happy to share that people do know me as an author coach.
Mm. Nice.
Primarily more of a video, primarily webinar. I think everything I try to experiment here, and I'm still
That's
experimenting.
Yeah. Yeah. Amazing. So last 3 months, sorry, last 6 months, you've done over 3.6 lakhs, and I think now you're averaging over a lakh a month in the last few months. So the point which I wanted to find out, which is many people may have this in their mind, is see you're still in a corporate job, and you are able to do this by spending 30 minutes to an hour a day. The main question is, how are you able to make this happen? Like there are many people who may be in the corporate job, but maybe the employer is a little skeptical. They do not know how to make it work both ways. They may have a passion in some topic, but see, this is your passion area. It is not conflicting with your main corporate role.
Absolutely.
How are you able to pull it off? Any tips you want to give for our corporate people watching who are in
Yeah,
jobs?
absolutely. I think initially, and it's very common, it's very natural that it will come to people.
Because you're a manager too, right? You also have people working under you. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a business leader in my function.
Mm.
And it's very important to go talk to your boss and say that, hey, this is my passion and I've been doing. And it's not that everybody who is in job has put it in their contract that I will not do anything, only job. There are people who are spending on a weekends the time on stocks. There are
Yes.
people who are doing community job. So they're doing multiple things. I mean, we are not saying that why are you doing community job? So I always I said that I'm an author, and you have my book with you as well. I'm an author coach as well. I've been helping people on weekends. So something which people been doing it stocks in weekends, or something like a personal project of their own as a community work, then why can't I do something which is more my passionate area? And they appreciated it. They said, yeah, wonderful. Can I get that service as well? So I think it's very important to share and give the context to them that as everybody has been doing it, and it's not something which is my job is getting affected at all. By the way, just to share with you, I'm a top 1% in my job.
Excellent.
So that is something which is never gonna conflict at all. It's kind of a one personal project which you have taken. So
Correct.
everybody who is in a job, it's a mindset, it's an excuse that you are giving it to yourself, that I have a job, I have a 10 to 12 hour job, I have a 12-hour hectic job. Like these 3 months I have been like crazily working because that it demands. The important thing is that many times you get 3 or 4 projects in our job. So this is another project which you have given it to yourself.
Yes.
It's my personal project that half an hour I'm going to give it to this. This is my another personal project, which is something which is my vision, my roadmap that I need to work upon. I think that mindset, once you get it, then out of that 5 project, one of them is your own one. And that go with that instead of demarcating that this is job, this is business. I think important thing is you have 16 hours or 15 hours. How are you dividing that? 4 into the company, 1 into your personal. And then your health element comes. Then your wheel of life of your family comes. What are you doing about that too? So yeah, so that's something which I would say to all the people, all the corporate folks. What is your next excuse? You shouldn't be giving this as an excuse, and it's all of a mindset.
What will happen if somebody is procrastinating this and they just working? I mean, have you seen any people in your fraternity, after years of corporate, living with regret and stuff like that? I mean, what do you see? What points do you have for this?
I tell you, all the people who are in my community are exactly like me. They're all employees. This is something which I would share. Of course, I have some trainers, coaches as well, but they are all employees, and they know that many times they're doing so much of routine work. They want one personal project of their own, which can give them the feeling that, yeah, I have done my bit in the whole day today. No, any shit comes to me, I'm okay. Anything comes, I've already done my job. I've done work on my personal project, something which I really cherish. So I always tell that, hey, you need a bigger cage. Maybe your company is not giving that. Why don't you build your own cage? Maybe bigger one. You are the animal which requires a bigger cage. And this is the cage which I'm giving, which is your own personal. Yes. And they love it. They said, this is so wonderful. I'm controlling my own life. I'm building that bucket story which we used to hear, right? The pipeline and a bucket together.
Yeah.
So instead of just moving out, and so it's a little effort initially, But if you can manage that by spending 30 minutes, and what is the hurry? I mean, do it in your own time. What is the hurry? This is not going to go anywhere. So I think that's what the message I will give it to the people. Uh,
Excellent.
it will actually help them complement in their job as well, Sid. Because when
Okay.
I learned a lot on marketing aspects from you, I know that it has been making difference in my job as well. And
Superb.
some things which I have learned in my job, I have been complementing it here as well. So it does
Wonderful.
complement instead of
Absolutely.
a conflict.
That's great, Rajat. I think you're a shining example of somebody who has shown that it is possible to remain in a job, to perform in the top 1%, and work on a passion project which is community oriented. And you've also demonstrated that it is possible by communicating in the right way and to make it very clear. And everybody needs to have a passion project of their own. They cannot, just be doing that one thing, for the rest of their life. Awesome. That's great. So
Absolutely.
what were the big things that impacted you the most through my courses? Like, what are the top 3 things that come to the top of your mind?
Mindset. You built my mindset, Sid. As I told you that I have an employee mindset, how you turned it into the entrepreneurial mindset. So that 7-8 months it took me to actually understand that, hey, I can do much more than what I have been doing in the past. I think that is the one big mindset shift which you have given. Second is the power of tools. I used to talk to my friends as well and to the people who are my students too. And we do discuss, we say that these tools are resources. These tools are my team members actually. Get
Yes.
Response is my team member. This Zoom and this Teachable is my team member. These Facebook ads are my team members. So I think the resources, the tools which you gave was a second best thing which you gave. And third is the daily habits. I know you are emphasizes a lot that, daily habits really works. And I can tell you, listening Stranger Secret daily, writing goals daily, reading that affirmations of your freedom creed daily, that has done absolute work. I mean, worked
So
out really well. And I know it has been working well and it'll further grow. It's just
yeah,
a start.
absolutely. My goal book is always here, always with me, writing. Yeah.
I
So
have a creed here,
your
which
creed
I
is right there. Awesome. That it really works, because since you've been doing mindfulness, you understand it's all. And the power of the mind is something which, unless we focus and do it, we won't understand what potential we have. Otherwise, you're just living an automated life. That's awesome. Yeah. Thank you for sharing those points. So the systems, the tools and resources, the mindset part, and the daily habits have really impacted you the most. So let's talk about your the funnel flow. Like, usually I tell people, okay, you run leads, get people to webinars, and then you offer a tripwire, which is a basic course, and then you guide people through advanced courses after that, depending on what level of commitment that they have. But you seem to be doing something little different, which is more on a one-to-one based approach and a higher ticket kind of format. So just walk us through the flow of how do you get customers. And all of you here watching this, Rajat is someone who is not looking at the volume game. He's looking at the quality game, like less number of people, because he's got this corporate job also. So Rajat, just walk us through what is your marketing strategy.
Yeah, so initially when I started, last year, November, when I put the course, I did exactly the same the way you asked us. I initially gave my course free of cost to people just to get the feedback. I gave it to 5, 10 people, 10, 12 people, and I got a good feedback. Then I gave it a very low cost, 999. People took it. Wonderful. Got good feeling. 1499, done. 1999, done. 2999. I just keep on experimenting. Done. But then I realized that people are not opening my course. And considering I have a constraint of a corporate job too, I couldn't nurture my community so well that I've been doing every day or every week a mastermind and all. So that was one element which I was missing. And then I said that I also put 4999 that, okay, people will start giving value now because they are giving some more, then they will go into the course and they will start approaching me. Then also it didn't happen. Then I gave 10K. They said, okay, let's put some really good money, 10K. And I started doing the webinar. And I bundled your courses also initially because I'm a franchisee member of yours, the Freedom Set business model. And then people took the course. And then I started giving the 101s also to them. And they just loved it. They just absolutely loved it. They said, yeah, this is what exactly. And that's where my aha moment also came that, hey, in authoring a book, it's a push that you need to give to people. because of my project management, because of my mindfulness, putting a stake, putting a empathy, and telling them that okay, Monday I'm meeting Mr. Shiva at 8:45 a.m. Next week I'm again going to meet. He has a homework to do, and he comes with the homework. Then we do that complete structured exercise, and then he has next steps for the next week. So this 6 to 7 sessions which I gave it to him in 6 to 7 weeks, the book is ready. So it's like
Nice.
plan a book, write a book, publish a book, and market a book. I structured that in that 101s. In between, I was continue giving, okay, do this course now, do this course now. And then 6th and 7th level, I actually pitched your course also, Freedom Business and the Freedom Setup. That if you really, now book is there, you have a book available. Do you want to build a brand? So people, some of the folks said, yeah, my book is available now. My lead magnet is available. Now let me get into my
Personal
branding, personal branding, which is your course completely. So the minimum charge which you have given, so I charge 14,999, and I'm giving 101 coaching there as well. So
nice.
I'm doing some effort of 101 coaching, but I have only 10 students in a week.
Okay.
So 2 sessions is what I take in a week. And lately, what I have started doing is I have started putting some Facebook ads as well. So now I'm getting the Facebook leads, and I'm putting an email chain of 5 to 6 email chains, not selling anything about it now on that email chains. And then I do webinar. In that webinar also, I'm not selling anything.
Okay.
And then I have a person who is helping me, who's supporting me. And she called at people who have attended the webinar. And then she gauge out at other really serious people. So it's more of a qualifying criteria. And then she tells me that, yeah, Rajat, you should have a 101 with this person. He can really be
qualified based.
Qualified based. And then I do 101, and then I do my sale in 101. This is something which I have recently implemented.
Very nice.
I wanted to share with you.
This is actually the Sam Owens model. Like if anything high ticket, right? If you want to sell anything, okay, right now you're still moving up. You're at 15K, but if you're looking at anything moving up towards 50,000, 1 lakh rupees, number of high ticket pro products. Best way to do it is like you do a webinar, put them through a qualification criteria, filter out the people who are really interested, schedule a one-to-one with them, and before the one-to-one, set the expectations of what is going to be coming, and if they really are interested to, if they have the financial capacity, if they have the time capacity, if they have the commitment, and the one-to-one, the closing happens very fast because they're fully ready. Yes,
absolutely. I could feel that. I mean, any amount also, if you will charge, they will be in for that, because considering that you have given so much of value, I could feel that very well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Amazing. Amazing.
That's my model right now, which I have been following.
Perfect. And it's good that you've discovered. So you're doing a free webinar and then you're doing one-to-one. So they understand your value. You're not selling in the webinar, but you're just guiding them on, for them to understand what it takes. And then you filter out and you pick and choose because of your time, how much time you have. So that's awesome.
That's where I call my other students also who took my course initially. So it's kind of a nurturing to them as well, because I never did that nurturing before, right? So now I call these people as well, that 2 hours I'm giving it, and it's more like a question and answers. So you ask me, what are your questions? What is that is stopping me? So some of my old students also comes and say, hey, yeah, this is good. So this is actually, the free webinar is more like a masterminding happening.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's where you build your authority, your trust and your people get to know about your formula. Yeah. Awesome. So guys, if you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook, just type in the comment box. Did you think this is really cool? Okay. What did you learn from Rajat in this conversation? And if you want to know more about Rajat's, his author coaching, what he does, on my YouTube channel in the description, I've given a link to his website. Go and check it out. And like Rajat, he works only with few people, but if you feel that you want to connect with him and use writing as a therapy for you to, churn out a book and launch it, by all means, go and do that. Rajat is great at what he does. And if you want to learn the actual formula that helped Rajat, find his flow in spite of being in a job, I've given a link to my formula there. Go in there, complete the transaction, jump into my bandwagon, and I'm more than happy to help you build something like this of your own and customize to your need based on your topic. So before we leave, Rajat, first of all, thank you so much. I think this has been a great interview. A lot of people have got great value. I think the biggest thing that I was able to take out of this conversation that I had with you was that in spite of being in a job, anyone can add value to the world. They don't have to just be in that one mode. They can, and in a way that is complementary to each other. That's the word. Many people think it is this or this, but actually you can do both. And as long as you're able to structure it in the right way. And that was one of my biggest takeaways, besides you adapting yourself and the funnels, the way that you've customized your entire marketing funnel to suit your particular topic, and you bringing out your congruence and not just being any other author coach or any other, like you've customized it to your flavor. So that's awesome. So before we leave, Rajat, based on your 20 plus years in corporate experience, personal development, all those learnings put together, if you had to bring it down to one success principle that you want to share, which has impacted you the most in your life, what would that be?
Action. You need to take action. So instead of thinking too much, plan, aim, and then fire, and then aim. Because when you're firing, you will get the right aim. I did a lot of experiments, and now I was just saying that Rajat, you have found the model, and I also feel the same because I was continuing firing, and experimenting, and now I realize that yeah, I got the aim. So it's important to get that feedback from market by taking action. Many times we do procrastinate, we try to be perfect, and something which I have learned from all my learnings also is perfection is myth. So progress is important.
Absolutely.
So action is what I would say the point here. The number one
Fire
success.
and then aim. Yes.
Fire and then aim.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Rajat. You've been a true inspiration for many in this community and continue to do so. And awesome. Looking forward to seeing you achieve greater heights, helping more people. Thank you so much. Yeah.
And thank you to you, Sid. It is all because of you, all because of your help and support.
Welcome.
You've been doing so wonderful. And I'm really honored to be here. Maybe someday I will interview you.
Absolutely. Let's do that. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.